Hey, so I have a friend, Terran, and we decided to swap concept art and build a piece of terrain based on it. This turned out to be some of the best pieces I've made in a long time. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you are having a good day in some small way, and I encourage you to share the best thing that happened to you all week down in the comments. The concept art that Terran sent me was very well done, with 4 different sketches in total, but one that really spoke to me was the stone portal on the top left. What I love about it is its simplicity, but also its versatility. I could use this for any number of games: Frostgrave, Dungeons & Dragons, Warhammer 40k, Age of Sigmar, and many more. I did some thinking, some playing around with ideas, but eventually I decided to keep it as simple as possible and leave it up to interpretation. I cut the basic shape out of XPS foam using a compass to trace the circle for the portal itself. One thing that I find super cool about this technology called the internet is its ability to connect us. It's amazing how a random American Midwesterner can meet a New Zealander living on the other side of the planet, both of which have nothing in common other than a liking to make really small things. I think that now is the best and most important time to collaborate with other people. While we are all physically separated due to a pandemic, we are more connected than we ever have been before. There are so many places for information and inspiration, there's really no reason not to be making stuff. I think many of us make excuses for not making things, whether it's lack of time or materials or friends in the hobby. At the end of the day, it comes down to just hobbying and enjoying the experience, especially meeting new people. I used Sculpt-A-Mold over some rough cut pieces of XPS foam to bulk out the base and also give it some nice satisfying weight. The nice thing about Sculpt-A-Mold is that it never warps or stretches your bases, so you don't have to worry about using hard or stiff materials. For my base, I just used a circle of foam core that I cut out and glued to the bottom of the portal. This Sculpt-A-Mold gives a nice ground texture to be used later as the base for some flocking to go on and give it some more layers of realism. The paints that I'm using for this project are very basic. They're all craft paints that you can grab from your local craft store or dollar store, and I could have gone a lot more complicated with my paint scheme. I could have used oils or complicated and expensive washes, but I decided that I wanted to take it a little bit more simple and get back to the basics for this project. The reason that I paint my ground before I flock it is because it gives the illusion of much more thick and layered ground cover than I can actually provide using the sawdust that I make myself. This just makes it look a lot better, even though it looks worse when you're actually building it. For the portal, I added some thinned red paint. Unfortunately, this really did not get the look I was going for and doesn't look as good as I was hoping. Once you get some light catching through it at the right angle, it looks reasonable, but I'm a bit disappointed on that front. But I decided that it's okay and it doesn't really matter. Like, nobody's gonna care about the portal that much. For my flocking, I'm adding a couple layers of different types of flock that I make myself. I'll have a link to the video in which I explain this up in the top right corner, if you want to check that out. it was a very fun video. A lot of people liked it, and I would definitely recommend it. These flocks have worked out pretty well for me. Definitely not quite up to the standard of shop-bought flocks, but they work fine for me. After doing one layer, you'll notice that it definitely looks pretty fake. You can see a lot of the painted Sculptamold underneath it, and I fixed that problem by adding 1 or 2 more layers on top of that, as well as some grass tufts and clump foliage. After doing this, I called it done. This was a very fun project to do with friends and get to know more people. It definitely honed my skills, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helped hone your skills as well. It was very fun and very much a learning experience for me. So, I hope you learned something too. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep crafting. I will see y'all next time. Bye!